Fact of the matter is that wasn't necessary. Representative Wainwright's vote was not material to the outcome, and in fact, you all probably are not aware of this, but we would not have taken up this bill if Representative Womble's absence was material to it. Representative Killian and Representative Martin passed a bill last year that would have allowed us to actually take steps to appoint a temporary replacement, and I'd taken a policy that we won't take up any override where Representative Womble's absence would actually be material to the outcome. So it's a good theater in there, but it's in fact not true. That's why we didn't take the steps to either get Representative Killian back or to appoint a replacement, because we've taken the policy that we won't do that while Representative Womble's not there or until a replacement's in his seat.
Well, then why do this at 12:45 at night?
Because we're moving on. We've got Governor called us here today. We had people who only heard about this date a couple of weeks ago, and we're moving on. We've got jobs and families back home that we're going back to right now.
I don't understand. This passed by the exact total that you needed in order.
That's correct.
So I don't understand why you're saying that those absences wouldn't have.
Because Representative Killian actually pairs against Representative Womble's vote. Representative Womble's absence was not material to the vote out here. Representative Killian is also absent. And we had the statutory authority to appoint a temporary replacement for anybody who's deployed on active duty. With a file of his active duty papers, his deployment papers here, the Executive Committee in Mecklenburg County could have appointed a temporary replacement. We could have had that other vote here. And I made it very clear to my members that we won't take up any vote where Representative Womble's absence would be material to it.
But why was it so important? I mean, you all could have adjourned and gone home last night after handling the S9 veto, however you chose to do so. Why was it important enough to spend the extra time and keep people here in the morning to do this particular bill?
Well, you know, the fact of the matter is we're talking about 3 hours, 4 hours. I mean, we convened late today. We came in at 2 o'clock. The total session's been about a 9-hour session. So, you know, there are some people that probably don't like the fact that we're here tonight, but the fact of the matter is we've got it done. We're out of here. We're saving money and going back home.
Do you think it's fair to NCAE and its members to bill this way?
Everybody knows that every veto override that is on the calendar is unfinished business. I've made it very clear from the beginning that unfinished business will be taken up when we have the opportunity to override the vetoes, and that still stands for every other veto that stands on unfinished business.
So you expect the public to be here at 1 a.m. to hear the veto of that bill?
They're welcome. They're probably not here, but everybody should know. The public should know, or any of the vested interest. I think it's disingenuous to say that a number of people would come up. You know, that if we did it tomorrow morning, I would suspect probably the same number of people would be there, and they'd be the special interests that are opposing the override. So, you know, I'm not sure that has weight in terms of practical effect.
But wouldn't it have given people a chance to contact their lawmakers and express their opinion? I mean, how would they have known to be here at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Because for the past 6 months, we have said any veto override on unfinished business is eligible anytime we come into session, and we're true to our word.
Should we take by the fact that you did not bring up other bills such as the energy jobs bill and a few other ones that were sort of sitting out there, maybe, right? Because you didn't bring those up, should we take it that you didn't have the votes to do those?
I don't think you should necessarily assume that.
Are you worried that the questions about the process just stain what you were trying to do here, just the process itself, and doing it this late hour just embarrasses the body, as Democrats suggested?
I don't think so. Like I said, I've heard similar debates when the prior majority had us here at midnight voting on the budget or voting on other matters. Same thing. We voted an $18 billion budget at midnight on third reading before. So to say that this is somehow new and different is in conflict with history. I mean, we've been here. I've been here for 4 years, and I've been here at midnight voting on something as significant as the budget. So
the budget was noticed. The budget was on the calendar. People knew that vote was going to be coming up.
And these
they did
veto
not know about
overrides
this.
were noticed, and they were on the calendar.
They weren't on the calendar for the House today.
Everybody knows that any time we come into a general session, that those matters are on the calendar, and this should be a learning experience.
Well, nobody knew you were coming.
Because
a
they're going to
learning
be on the
experience
calendar
for who?
again. Everybody needs to know that we're in session to the extent that we have the opportunity to override a veto. the unfinished business is a part of our calendar.
But sir, I don't want to be argumentative, but you said everybody knows anytime you come into a general session. People did not know you were coming into a general session yesterday, did they?
Well, anybody who understands the rules, in fact, you need to understand the rules that we use to make this effort in order were rules that were implemented by Democratic majorities of the past. I had a discussion with a couple of the minority members about that. We simply use the rules that we've passed. We all voted on, 120 people voted on them. About the second or third week we were in session, we use those rules for these purposes. People need to understand the process, the rules. We're playing by the rules.
Is the House of Representatives under your leadership transparent?
I think so. Far more than anyone that I served under.
Are you worried, though, that this will ramp up, I mean, regardless of the public, that this potentially ramps up the partisanship?
I don't think so. The fact of the matter is, with people who voted against the veto tonight, I've already had 3 or 4 cordial conversations with the members. I think this is one specific transaction. We can make it bigger than that, but my guess is we'll have bipartisan support on other vetoes before we're out of here in May.
So why was the Racial Justice Act dealt with that way? Because you just didn't have the votes?
Well, you know, a part of it relates to the fact that the minority has made some valid points about maybe there's a way to bridge the gap. Maybe some of them have said if we overrode Racial Justice Act that maybe we never hear about it again, and maybe we wouldn't take it up. Now we've established a select committee to talk about the specific issues and see if we can actually resolve what I think are very valid and profound concerns that the DAs have expressed, Democrat and Republican DAs across this state, about the practical effect of the Racial Justice Act. So we put together a select committee. If we can come to some compromise, then we'll never see that override come up. I hope we can.
Did Republicans ask Representative Brisson to trade his vote on the racial justice issue for this last dues checkoff issue?
No, Representative Brisson's been pretty clear that he supported the override. Got to go.
That's